This horror story is from a girl who tells about ghosts around the place where she rented a house, but this story is more terrifying, guys, since she was a child. Because you are a weak person, you often encounter demons. This story took place in 2015. You remember that at that time you were studying at university in Bac Tu Lion, Hanoi, and you rented a house near Tetu Flower Village. It's not convenient for you to share the address here, because you said it's because this landlord is really a very good person. Back then, this girl often gave you food and drinks, giving you examples like vegetables, fruits, vegetables, fruits. If you describe this row of houses, it has 2 floors and it is located at the base of a very large mango tree. Tell me, this mango tree is so big that its canopy covers an entire part of your house. Summer is very cool, it would be wonderful. If only these spiritual stories did not appear. The first story is that you suffered from sleep paralysis. It was on a summer day. You remember that it was very hot that day and it seemed that at that time you had just moved to this place to stay there. In the middle of the night, you guessed it was about 2 to 3 o'clock or so, then suddenly you heard a sound on the street. There were a lot of cars going by, and when it left, it was howling loudly. There were both boys and children's voices. Girl again. At this point, you woke up and you were so annoyed that you said that in your mouth it's already night and you're still making noise and not letting anyone sleep, right? As soon as you finished your sentence, you were crushed by a ghost. Can you imagine? You're lying on your side facing the wall and you clearly feel something behind you. I hate it when you talk in your ear and sing. 1 2 3 4 take the children out to play. You said you heard a song in English but it was very strange. You think you understand but in the end you don't understand a word at all. Even so, you still know that this is English. As you understand, it's not like I've ever been crushed by a ghost, but this is probably the first experience of having the ghost sit next to me and sing to me. Just thinking about it makes me panic. In this current situation, you are also very scared, but this time it is even more terrifying. At this moment you can still feel it clearly. You say it is the breath of that ghost. It is pressed against your side, your ear, into your hand and then into your ear, where it breathes like a pig. But you said this ghost's voice sounds like that of a young man. Oh my god, you're so scared right now. You said it from the beginning. You're very light-hearted, so your mother once gave you a temple necklace. A string of beads from that temple for you to wear to ward off evil spirits. At this moment you are so scared that in your heart you can only recite Buddha's name, but you say that you only know the phrase Amitabha Buddha, then you keep saying that until this ghost laughed at you guys. He laughed ha 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 like that, then he spoke into your hand. He said I'm not scared. Oh my god, when you heard that, you wanted to die, but you were afraid and still closed your eyes. You said you didn't dare open your eyes, you were afraid you would see something. Then you will probably die immediately. That night, you just chanted Buddha's name regardless for about 10 minutes, then the hand wearing the rosary naturally moved, then you raised your hand in the air to pray. But no matter how big it was, the arm that was wearing the necklace accidentally swung into a hole somewhere. You said it felt wet and wet. You said it was like you stuck your hand inside the eye socket of that ghost. Oh my god. At this time, that ghost shouted to you guys. It shouted okay. It screams in your ear, why did you do that to me? Then slowly you feel your body relax and the ghost completely disappears. Oh my god. You were so scared that you hurriedly turned on the light in your room, then you left it on all night, You stayed up until morning and that was also the first. You were very lazy. You were lazy to find a new place, so you continued to stay. The cases you encounter here are already too scary, but normally you are too used to being oppressed by ghosts. But you are also stubborn, you still stay, but how lucky are you? From that time forward, you will not be crushed by this ghost again. But I think this story will continue to be like that until you start to get to know the neighbor, which is also the starting point of this second story. One time, you accidentally pressed the lock and forgot the key inside the room. Your phone was also inside. Then you remembered that your lover had another key. So you just went to see if anyone in this row of houses was still in the house. Let me borrow your phone to call your lover so that he can come over to your house immediately after finishing school. At this time, you should go to the door of this girl's room, temporarily called Miss Lone. Then you knocked on the door and told your situation to this sister. This sister was very happy to let you borrow her phone. Only when the two of you sat down to talk did you realize that this person was the one. This sister also just moved here, and what a coincidence. This sister lives in the same hometown as you, just a different district. But from what you talked to her, you know that she lives with you. With a younger sister, but this younger sister rarely comes to her room, because the two sisters don't get along and often argue a lot. In general, this Miss Lone is a quiet person and you don't know much information about her. At this time, on a day near Tet, the landlady came to knock on the door of your room on the first floor. At this time, she said that there was the family has already rented the room you are living in, now they want to rent it again and ask you if they can give up this room or not. Then the new landlord said she would give you a room on the second floor and she would give you a discount. You said that this landlord is very kind and often gives you food right from the beginning of my video. I've already said that, so you immediately agree and your room fee will be reduced. Well, the day you moved rooms, this Miss Lone passed by and asked if you needed any help. Then you also smiled and said no. I have very few things, sister. And when you moved into this room on the first day, you were haunted by ghosts again. It was around 6 AM according to your memory. When you opened your eyes, the light was very dim. Then you won't be able to move your whole body. At this moment you hear the sound of a girl crying. At this moment you opened your eyes, you fell down from below and you saw the girl sitting right in front of you, and this woman's hand was bleeding so much. The hand fell down. At this moment you are so scared. Oh my god, you said oh my god, what kind of scene are you encountering again? So you close your eyes to recite the Buddha's name, only at this time your phone's alarm bell rings, helping you escape from sleep paralysis. Then after about 1 to 2 weeks or so, the new landlady called you and said, "Hey kid, I'll go down and take a look to see how you handle it." He just called you. He said he cut his hand. At this point, you say, yes, let me see what you look like. Because this woman doesn't have your phone number and she's also a quiet person. When she has problems, she only informs the landlady. At this time, you will go to Miss Lone's room to ask. Then when she knocked on the door and opened it, you saw clearly, you saw that her blue jeans were drenched in blood, so when you went inside to talk, suddenly this girl asked you, "Hey, are you happy here? And have you seen anything?" Then you say it. At this point, you don't dare to say that you are often haunted by ghosts. Because you think it's simply because you've seen it often since you were young, so you don't answer, you just laugh it off. Stop. After talking for a while, you went home. Until that day, a few days later, you returned home early. The day you returned to this rented house was around 10, so there was probably no one there yet. It's noon. You're sleeping when you hear the voice of Miss Lone calling out, "Baby! Baby!" But because you were too tired because you were traveling on a long-distance bus, you fell asleep and didn't answer. It wasn't until that afternoon that the lady downstairs pulled her hand back and said, "Hey, come in here, you come in here. I'll tell you this very scary story." Then you just went into this lady's room. Then this lady started talking all at once. She said that, "Oh my God, do you know what the lady in the last room on the second floor said?" You just said yes. Yes, I know. At noon I still heard a voice calling for me. Then when this woman said, "Are you crazy? It's dead. He hanged himself to death." The couple next door discovered that the new husband quickly took a knife and cut the rope. Now he is asking the teacher to solve it. Oh my God, when you hear that, it's your ears that are buzzing. You just said, "What is that?" I clearly heard her voice calling me at noon. Then this woman pushed her friend's hand away and said, "Are you crazy? Are you crazy? It's really dead." The housekeeper doesn't even allow incense to be burned in the room anymore. There, people carried out its body and waited for the family to come and claim it. Oh my God, at this point you're completely crazy. At this point your tolerance is too much. You call your lover up to stay with you. You're so scared. Then, you had to move house immediately, and until now you still can't forget the last sentence that woman, she asked you here, "Do you see anything?" If at that time you had told this sister the story of being cruise from her hands, then you said, "Is it the ghost of that girl is related to this sister's death?" If only you were a little more observant, this sister wouldn't have died. This is a story that scared me when I heard it. It brought tears to my eyes. Therefore, you must be careful, do whatever you do. In a rented house, there must be worship and sacredness. If something strange happens, it's best for you to leave that place immediately. And this is the end of the story. Everyone who listens to the story finds it interesting. Please give me one like and one subscriber. I hope everyone has fun listening to the story. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.